The story so far. After the events of the final season, Red SMP Season 2 had started. This time he promised many things such as eternal peace, and of course, no more wars. Something that my heart really anticipated to happen one day or another. I was finally hoping I could finally just keep staying on my base, go back to being high for visits, and of course, farm sticks for wood to make infinite emeralds. I thought, this final time, there will no longer be wars, no more conflicts, and no more betrayal. Little did I know how naive I was. It was all a normal day. I was mining iron. Down in the mines, I discovered something called an iron vein, found in tuff. Some people say if you find this, you're probably guaranteed a lot of iron, and I was guaranteed a lot of iron. Let's look at this. So much iron. I have to mine around the tuff, and when I see iron, I mine it, and if there's more tuff, I have to mine the tuff so I can find more iron. Oh man, I don't have a time to breathe. Like, look at this iron. It's insane. Like, I mined the tuff and there's more iron. Like, that is just insane. You should definitely be on the lookout for those iron vein things. You might be asking why I wanted to mine iron in such a delicate state, because I was half diamond at the time. Well, I just wanted to make a lot of money, so I can sell the for emeralds. And then I hit the mines one more time, continuing mining for emeralds. My pickaxe was actually one I bought from a villager. Am I really that intelligent? Yep, I am. And I found more iron. If life gives you iron, well, you gotta mine it, okay? You just gotta mine it, alright? Alright, you gotta mine it. I had to be at least a solid hour down in the mines. This was just impossible to happen. Like, the tuff, everywhere I mined the tuff, there was like guaranteed to be iron. Not just iron, raw iron blocks, which is 9 raw iron, which you have to smelt into iron ingots. Like, come on. Is this really how we're gonna do this? Like, we're gonna be mining at Y level minus 60 and get full iron? At the time, my armor was half diamond, half iron, and now it looked very nice, but yeah, I didn't want to get killed when I went to the Nether for fun times, because I want to make more stuff. And so here I am back in my base. I was going to sleep, but then I saw something down in the village area. Something that terrified my very own soul and traumatized for life. This cat is a menace to society. Then it was recently brought to my attention that 3 nerds decided to create an organization against me. It was called Arrow, or for long form, Anti-Raven Organization. A revolt and scheming behind my back? Not on my watch! So I took that extremely personally, what Mr. Matthew said, and I went straight to their country. I wasn't alone. I brought friends with me, like a good man does. Brought the Bean with me, who had a genius plan to bring them straight to their country and see them burn to the ground. Then I arrived to their country, which dared to have the name Lemanberg. How dare you! This country was gone ages ago in another recipe, but then I found somebody with a dog. I punched it out of... I don't know why I punched it, honestly. I didn't care much. I gave them 20 minutes to show up in their country, or else I could burn it to the ground. One person was running away. He did not manage to survive, and then his dog started biting me down for no reason whatsoever. Me and Beans pretending that we were actually fighting each other so we can make Red and his evil mercenaries to come out of their hunting spot and fight us like men. It worked flawlessly, but first they had to prepare. With what? Leather armor? I had full diamond. I was waiting, and I had everything expecting for a combat, but then I committed a heinous crime, which declared war instantly. I killed somebody's dog by accident. For the non-Minecraft fans in my fanbase, I have to tell you something. If you kill somebody's pet in Minecraft, specifically a dog, you're asking for a war. You demanded war. You want war. You want yourself to fight people. And that probably sped them up a little, because killing a dog is not something great. After destroying Gregberg, which was an old ruin like a museum, I decided to write down on the sign a very nice message. Down with the dictators! You think you're gonna make a nice organization to go up against me? No! No, I will teach you a lesson to never do that again. My proposition, however, was ignored, and the 20 minutes were about to go out, and I would have to burn their country to the ground. But before that, I started tearing down the path, and I would use it for fuel source for my food. Yes, I actually asked for war at this point. This was all retaliation, nothing less. By less, I mean that I just burned somebody's house to the ground, and yeah, at this point, there's no way to avoid war. 20 minutes were long gone, so I started burning up their country. There was nothing else I could do. They ignored me for many, many minutes, and I lost my patience, and the voices won. I had to make content. And yes, I solidified my response by bringing creepers in their nation and blowing stuff up with no remorse. Heck, I even made full diamond armor before I went to their country. I was so ready. And as Sun Tzu said, if you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. And yes, I did not fear the result. I was full diamond. What are they gonna do? Fart? And suddenly they win? Of course not. They would have to go through me. And then 5 minutes later, they came to their country to see burning down to the ground a 3v1. Enjoy the clip! After that, I lost him in Binhayo, and I went straight back to my evil Earth to continue planning. Of course, they would surely retaliate after such bad last. They tried to call me Greasy and I have no idea what that word means, and I don't think they know either. And then, it didn't bother me. But suddenly, 5 minutes later after I arrived to my base, the owner himself teleports into me while I was in the base. And he leaked my codes, which means that his entire government could just come to my base, knock on the door, and just say, "What's up?" and just burn into the ground. I don't know if an owner has to actually teleport to you. Is that considered cheating or just simply a raids out moment? I don't know. But probably were just two raids that just burned their entire nation to the ground that they probably wanted revenge. And I just completely did not understand that they had to cheat to get through me. That's red flag number one, that Mr. Red Guy just could not stand me anymore. But we do not care. So I said in the chat AFK, and I pretended to be AFK to see if they would actually teleport to me and kill me while I was AFK. Of course, that never happened, but hey, it worked many times in CubeCraft PvP. Who doesn't say one worked this time, but they probably didn't care too much if I was AFK. And yeah, they just didn't care too much. I just sat there for like 16 seconds and nothing happened. 20 minutes later, there, two guys, Matthew and Red, just show up in my ports, trying to take me down and assert dominance. In my own ports! That was unacceptable. An organization to take me down? No, that is even more unacceptable. And I went outside of my base to hunt them down and destroy them one more time and prove who's the strongest PvPer on the server. And when I was about to kill Red, he C-logs. So basically, C-log allows you to log off during combat. That's why it stands for Combat Log Off. Now, what does that mean? Disgusting! Despicable! Get out of here! Send this man to prison! It's despicable you could just commit such an act. At that point, I was considered the villain in the SMP trying to retaliate for their actions. However, while Beanie was trying to convince them that I wasn't the actual villain, I just ran around and just made a parkour map. Yes, I didn't care anymore. I even made a whole deity called Holy Tea, which is an upside-down tea made of dirt and wool. You judge what the wool on top is. And then I decided to take Beanie back to his country. That took an awful long time. I've done this journey 19 times so far. What doesn't say that I won't do it another 20? No one. I will do it as many times as I want. It was fun though. Then I solidified the next up consequences that will happen with this sign, which, to be fair, at once said RIP Red, but then I decided to edit it a little bit. It was fun while it lasted. The final peaceful day was here. I said goodbye one final time, and went straight back to my lair, which would probably take another 10 minutes to arrive. Now I've done this journey 20 times. Who said I won't do it the 21st time? I arrived in my base. I saw it once more. It was a long journey. Then, I made it to an old abandoned house. I stripped down its logs for money, and I sat there for a couple of minutes. All this violence, torture, arson, murder, all of this was made for retaliation. Retaliation for them creating an organization that is unfathomably disgusting. I convinced myself I did the right thing. And I convinced myself the second time because I'm cool and awesome and you should subscribe. I watched the sunrise one more time. I thought peace was finally here. Psych nerds! It wasn't here yet! There's more to the story! You thought it was just gonna end here? Anticlimactically, it doesn't. And it continues to go on as now the doomsday of the server begins. And my final day, I debut in the server. Why, you might ask? Why not continue further? I think the final eclipse would finally justify why I quit the server, why me and Beans actually quitted the server. Basically, an invis skin is a player is using a skin that is not visible to the player's eyes, but to the mob's eyes instead. However, while this is counterable with locator maps, which are not allowed supposedly, but I still use them, I didn't manage to actually get the locator map out because I was being bullied by the invisible skin, and I swear on God particles were on, because you'll see them later. There's an eating particle, there's like a lot of things. Just keep watching, you know? 2 hours later, Beanie and I were exiled from our countries because Red was coming back with his evil goons and the invisible skin. They were trying to take us down. They had declared war, so I thought that the only way we can actually win this is to go to the Nether and make ourselves the Netherite. If we can make Netherite and pots, we would be unstoppable, especially withers. If we can do that, nobody, not even Red, can stop us from destroying the realm and reforming our glory. Well, here's a clip on how it went for one smithing template. Then I went to mine netherite. Actual netherite. Now, the only thing we need is just diamonds and ancient debris so we can actually make the ingots. And then, we would actually be unstoppable. Nobody could be able to stop us with netherite. Nobody can do it. Unfortunately, though, Red teleported me forcefully out of the nether, which is officially red flag number 2. He claimed that Matthew was in Manberg, his country, which, to be fair, there's only one Manberg that it got destroyed in Dream SMP. And I knew that it was a trap. Well, Beanie convinced me it wasn't, but I had a gut-wrenching feeling that this was a trap. And oh boy, I could feel it that I was being watched. Especially when I saw an aggro enderman and somebody who was not visible to us. Aggro zombies, aggro endermen. That was concrete evidence that the invisible skin guy was here, but I did not pay too much attention. That was my mistake. I did not pay attention to the aggro enderman chasing the invisible skin. And so, I went to confront Matthew myself. Ready to put that orphan obliterator straight up his ass. And as I went, he was completely off guard and took by surprise. And I killed him. At first I thought that Red was trustable for this final time. Little did I know, that would be my final mistake on this realm, and a mistake that would actually kill me. As I was trying to run away, the invisible guy struck one more time, but this time he was successful. He managed to launch me straight to a puddle, and I could not see. Red just stood there and watched as I was being bullied by that invis guy, and the zombie was sitting there, ready to kill me. Then Matthew then put on an auto-clicker and started bullying Beanie. Do you know what the realm owner did by any chance? Do you know what he did? He did nothing! He just let the cheaters running around! At that point, me and Beanie decided that we would quit this power-corrupt government realm, and no more Red SMP content would be made until further notice. I was done with this. I wouldn't fight hackers for nothing. But that is for another day. Be sure to smash that like button if you want to see more. Do I hear 10 million likes? I hope I do. I will see you on the next time. More videos coming up. Bye-bye.